Oh, we're live from Mustache Vet Studio, somewhere in Pennsylvania. Up here in the attic of Mustache Vet's home. We'll wait for anybody and everybody to come on. So I'm going to open a little brewski, Pennsylvania favorite, some Yingling. Matches the shirt today. Changed for this occasion. You're welcome. The shirt really hugs the arms. Haven't been working out much lately, but yeah, I still stay the same. I still stay massive-ish. Massive-ish. I'm not that big. So I'm gonna click over to, I think our comments were already open. All right, comments were already open. I think I'm gonna hit you with the intro right now. So here we go. Tar and Feather Podcast.
Welcome to the Tar and Feather Podcast. Here are your hosts, Mustached Vet and Ganglion Cortex.
All right. Hopefully there wasn't too much reverb or whatever it's called echoing through the mic on that one because I forgot to turn on the headset. So the everything was going through my speakers. Actually, I might just turn these off now. It's just easier to talk without them on if I'm not having to talk to anybody else. So this is the new studio. I think this is how it's going to be for a while now. We're going to end up getting a couch, like a little futon or something to set up there for in studio guest. So I got my cigars over there. I'm going to get like a little table over here. The putting green's down here. I got a little putting green right there. But so whenever guests come, putting green gets rolled up, put the futon back there. We can chill and have a good time. We'll have mics on our shirts. And so that we can talk freely. We won't have this thing in our way. This mic will get put away. This mic will get put away. Hey, what's up, everybody? We got 2 people watching right now. Feel free to chime in, comment. Let me know who you are. It's always nice to know who I'm talking to, who's listening. Welcome to the show. This is Tar and Feather Podcast with Mustache Vet. This is my new studio. Painted the walls today. And then I got these brand new flags. And of course, Old Glory behind me. So decided that they needed a place in my studio. Barely fit the bottom flags in there. I had to turn the outsides in order for the flags to fit, just because of the width in between the windows. Wanted to make it symmetrical. So I think everything looks pretty balanced. The only thing over here is that there is a gap under Freedom and Arsenal. I don't know if I did that on purpose, but I think it looks cool. So we're going to stick with it. It's not completely symmetrical. I'm going to piss off some OCD people. Irritate. I'm going to irritate some OCD folks. So, which is fine with me. I'm not OCD. So at the top of the order, we got Old Glory right behind me. Of course, we live in America. We stand and we salute for this flag. I fought for this flag. As much as I hate my government, I will fight and defend this with every bit of strength. I will defend family, country, over everything. So, over everything, family and country. God above all, but family and country when it comes to Old Glory. Right there, we got the brand new Tar and Feather flag, the official Manifest Your Destiny flag. All right, none of this is for sale, unfortunately. We'll get a store up maybe in the future. We'll end up getting a store. All the profits will end up hopefully going to some charity or we have friends who run nonprofits, and we'll donate some of the money to them. So, or put it into the studios and into maybe getting guests on if that ever becomes a thing. Doubtful. But just who knows? Maybe just people just want to be on with us, talking to us, listening to us. Get on here and bullshit. Bullshit. All right. So this flag right here, this is the Whiskey Rebellion flag. We went over the Whiskey Rebellion in the last episode, the last live. We went over the Whiskey Rebellion. So government needed money. The war bonds weren't enough. So they had to tax. And what they want was, they figured whiskey, alcohol was a luxury. So it was like a luxury tax. In order for you to get your alcohol, get your whiskey on spirits, you had to pay a tax. You had to pay a premium in order. And all that does is it hurts poor folk. Hurts the smaller businesses. It hurts the poor individuals in the area that can't get their drinks, you know. And whether or not you think drinking is a good thing or bad thing, obviously I have a beer in hand. That's up to you. But I feel like nothing's technically a luxury. I mean, you work hard, play hard, live your life the way that God wanted you to live your life. That's my vision. You live your life however you want to live your life. I'm not preaching, but live your life however way you want to live your life. But I don't think taxing luxuries is the way to go. Tax the 1%, eat the rich. No, that's not it. Guess what? The rich are going to get away with whatever they want. They have lawyers, they have money to get away with whatever they want, right? So, whatever. The problem is the regulations hurt smaller businesses, the poor folk, right? The middle class down, really. It really just hurts the middle class. The people that can barely afford the stuff, that have become accustomed to being able to drive long distances, and they're like, "Oh, gas tax going up." Well, now I'm making one less trip a year. Well, trips are luxury. No, they're not. Trips aren't luxury. It's getting your mind right, getting your mentals correct. You got enough chickens, you got to get your mentals. So that's about it for the Whiskey Rebellion flag. We got the tar and feather sign right there. It's getting blocked by the mic. So we got the tar and feather acrylic sign. And then, of course, my cowboy hat they got married in. We're going to put that up here. It's George Strait edition straw hat. Love it. It fits great. It's the best. I figured I would have both my cowboy hats. I got 3. I got a shit kicker one downstairs, one that I beat up. It's not beaten up yet because I don't wear it enough. But blah, blah, blah. I got both my cowboy hats up here. This Arsenal sign is, of course, my favorite English football team in the Premier League. Also, they're not the best right now. They're not number 1. But I think they're number 2 in the league. No big deal. They're heating up. 11 goals in the last 2 games. Know your role, jabronis. That's right. All right. To the left right here, we got my 10th Mountain sign, right? Metal. It's kind of like a 3D. It's called Hex Art. Yeah. I don't want to pull it all the way off. It's easy to take off, but I don't feel like taking it off and finding the hole again. So pause. All right. So that's my 10th Mountain sign. I was in the 10th Mountain Division down in Fort Polk, Louisiana, during my time in the Army from 2007 to the end of 2010. So it was in almost 4 years. Got medically discharged, if anybody's wondering. And then I was out. Almost had to deploy out to Afghanistan with the boys, but unfortunately, left the Army. Got my U.S. Army crest up there. I mean, that just speaks for itself. I was in the Army, blah, blah, blah. Cool beans. No big deal. Where is it? You decide. You decide if it's a big deal or not. In the comments, tell me if I'm a big deal. I'm not, but thanks. Oh, man. All right. And then to cap that side off, I got my felt hat. My wife found this sick pheasant feather. This thing is monstrous. Look how long that pheasant feather is. I love it. I'll wear it for you right now. You dared me, I do it. All right. How's it look? Besides the feather on again. All right. We'll do it again. Whoop. All right. That's my felt hat. Put it back there. It's a little deformed right now. Oh, thanks, Dean. Let me put your comment up there real fast. All right, Dean Remington out here, big stuff there in the Love Me the Wall. I didn't say any of that correctly. There in Love Me the Wall. All right, dude. I love the wall too. Appreciate it, dude. And we are going to have him on, retired Air Force vet, on Monday. I think it's Monday. Pheasant feather. Yeah, for sure, dude. So he commented pheasant feather all the way. Thing is long. The thing is long. Probably. I got the tape measure up here somewhere. Let's measure this pheasant feather because it's coming in at 17 inches. That pheasant feather, 17 inches. Yeah. So he said, I love me the wall. Yeah, dude. Appreciate it. And then he said he's going to be on Monday Eve. So Sunday. So later on tomorrow, we will be recording. I'm assuming Monday Eve is Sunday. So you shoot that bird. No, I did not. It was found. My wife found it while she was running and then brought it back home. I got a couple eagle feathers that I found too downstairs. Those are going to go. The big one's going to go in that hat eventually. Sunday Eve. That's today. Saturday's Eve. I'm so confused. He is saying all sorts of stuff. So he asked me if I shot the bird. I did not shoot the bird. I'm getting used to putting the comments up on the thing. So bear with me. And then he said Sunday Eve that he's going to be on the show. And then he said, yes, got it. And then I don't know what showtime Sunday. What time is the showtime? It'll have to be in the evening for me. At least 8 for me, 8 for you because you're down in Florida. So 8 p.m.? Does that 8 p.m. work for you? Where's the question mark? 8 p.m.? Oh, it sends it from all of them when I type in something? That's absurd. Late is great. All right, that's what I said. So we will be filming tomorrow night, and then the episode, of course, will be launched about midnight Monday probably, or we might have it premiere sometime Monday morning. So tight. That makes me even more excited, right? I have something to look forward to in the evening. Tomorrow is going to be a full day for us. The family and I are going to church in the morning. We're doing the 9 a.m. service. My Marine Corps brother, Zach and his fiance, Kylie, they're coming down. We're helping them load a bed frame up into his truck. So we're doing that. Plus, I'm going to show him around the thing. Maybe we'll do a short podcast if they have time. Maybe we'll do a short live with him, talk to him. And Dean said he's excited. All right, dude. Yeah, man. Dude, I'm stoked to have you on. So Dean has been following us. Dean, a.k.a. Dean, has been following us since the very beginning. He's one of Ganglion Cortex's friends when he was living in Arizona. They were doing some hanging out together, whatnot. They were essentially neighbors. So Ganglion was over at his house quite frequently. So I met Dean a couple times, and he's a genuine dude, true patriot, loves his country. Like I said, 20-year Air Force vet or retired Air Force vet. I can't remember exactly how many years he served, but he's been in. He was in. We'll probably talk to him about some leadership stuff and how he transitioned and everything like that, because I think it's important to, when you get out of the service, to understand how to transition. And maybe if, yeah, he said they went down, they did some recon missions down by the border, I believe. So they did some of the stuff, seeing where the illegals and stuff pass through and all of the trash that they leave behind. So they were scoping out those areas. So I believe. So I think it's important that vets that are in and vets that are out kind of get a broad spectrum of how everybody has transitioned from the service to now. I think that's very important, because not everybody's the same. Not everybody turns to the good book. Not everybody is right to work or right away. So sometimes, when you get out of the service, you're lost. I was lost. I tried to do a year of community college. That didn't work. I didn't go to school. I was lazy. I did the opposite of what I did when I was in the Army. So I stopped waking up early in the mornings. I would stay up at all hours of the night and then not go to class. Yes. He said, talking transition to civilian life is a great topic. I think that's important to talk to with almost every vet that we have on, because almost every vet is doing something a little bit different, but there's probably a common denominator in all of it. So if we can try and maybe find a few common denominators with everybody, we can help the vets that are out now that have maybe been struggling for a decade or more, or we can help the vets that are, joining the civilian life. I think that's huge. Understanding the transition, because you don't have the schedule that you're being told to do every day, right? You don't have this forced schedule, right? Unless you work and whatnot, but afterwards, the Army really kept you in a tight bubble and kept you in with your boys almost at all times. And when you leave, you don't have 10, 15, 20 dudes to hang out with every night. It's usually just yourself. And just yourself, hanging out with just yourself, talking to yourself, that gets lonely, of course. I mean, that's the definition, right? Being alone is lonely. So understanding transition, understanding how to make friends outside of the service, because I know I get annoying sometimes when I keep talking about the service. I've been out for 13 years and I still talk about it like it was yesterday, because it feels like it was yesterday, almost no matter what. And I was only in for a little less than 4 years. So it feels like yesterday all the time. I get caught talking about my service all the time, because that was the impact it left me. That year and 2 months I was in Iraq, I talk about that a lot, because that's how it impacted me. Yes, I sometimes sound like the girl that went abroad, right? What up, Matt? Mr. Hester. Served with this guy in Iraq. He's a cool dude. Appreciate you coming on, brother. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, he said it does feel like that. It feels like it feels like it was yesterday. And like I said, you're not hanging out with the boys anymore. Let's see what Dean's got to say. The struggle is real. Learning curve for me after 22 years was challenging. I will talk tips, pitfalls, success. We all have it. Date of service was December 2007. So, and Dean says hi to Matt. And then Matt said, no worries, brother. He's been a real dude too. Both Matt and Dean have been following the show since the very beginning. I love them both. Of course, I served with Matt. Cool dude, down to earth dude. I believe he's living in Louisiana. I think he moved back to Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, that's where we were stationed at. So, Fort Polk, which is now Fort Johnson. I just found out 2 days ago that they changed their name. So that place changed its name, which is cool, and it's cool in a sense, because it's definitely cool in the fact that it is recognizing a black World War I hero. I mean, this dude did some amazing things. I got to reread his story again. I read it last night. It didn't all absorb. I had some other things distracting me at the time, probably baby. So I want to reread his story again to get the hang on the person that they named it after, because it's really cool. Look up Fort Johnson and name change on Google, and it'll tell you the dude that they're naming it after. And of course, Fort Polk, I believe, is named after a Confederate general. So the Pentagon is going away from the Confederacy, like Fort Lee, Fort Johnson, of course. And I'm not sure about Fort Jackson, because I think that may have been named after Stonewall Jackson. Not sure. Don't remember. I've never been to Fort Jackson. So they're doing that. And yep, Matt's back in Louisiana, in the country. Oh, dude, I bet. I never got to enjoy the country down in Louisiana. And we had a Louisiana veteran on, Joshua Strickland. He's the lead singer of the Bayou Bandits. We had him on episode 9. He's from the New Orleans area, down in the Delta, right? He's got, his family has a farm out there. Pretty cool. I just saw pictures that he took of his trip down there. Condolences to your family. They had a loss in the family, so condolences to your family, Josh. Love you, brother. Our prayers and thoughts are out for you. So he was taking some pictures of the farm, the horses and whatnot, the sheep and whatever all the stuff that they have on the farm, right? So I was like, that's really cool. So that's why I wanted to have him on. I thought he's a very interesting dude. Super, super energetic. He knows exactly what to say. He's quick-witted. He's exactly. Dean said he's a true professional. I mean, he just came out firing right off the bat, and I love it. And it's awesome when you have somebody that you haven't talked to in so long. And I only knew Josh for a couple months. We rode in the motorcycle club, in the same motorcycle club for a couple months. So, and he gifted me the Stayback whip. So it's a little leather whip that you attach to your handlebars on your motorcycle. And if anybody gets too close or riding your butt on the motorcycle, it's called Stayback whip, because you can clip it off and whip it back, essentially taking out a headlight. Or it's just enough to tell somebody to, hey, I'll back up. I see that. I mean, normally you should just steer clear of people like that. If they're on your butt and you're on a motorcycle, you're not bigger than them. You don't get to push. You don't get to push them around. They push you around. So play defensively. Let's see here. We got some more comments. So Dean said he moved back down to the Gulf Shores area in Alabama. Now in Alabama. So he was saying, Matt, he's living relatively close to you. Just a hop, skip, and a jump past the Mississippi and Mississippi, the whole state. If I think my geography is correct. And then Matt said he's in Pearl River. Delacroix. It's like an hour away. Oh, that's not too far. That's cool. Oh, Delacroix is an hour away. I miss all you guys. A brotherhood is like no other. That's the truth, man. When you're going to work, when you're seeing the same dudes from 6 in the morning, earlier usually like 5:30 in the morning to 6 o'clock at night, and then your roommate you probably work with. Like I worked with Corey, Ganglion Cortex. So he was in a different squad with me at work, but hey, I saw him every day. And I normally ended up finding my way over his bay to just hang out because he's my bro. He's my little Pookie. So and then of course the guys in that squad was, Dan Kyle who's in that squad, and I believe Corey Nelson, my home dog Corey. He's a real cool dude. I believe he was in that squad as well. So and Jason Hyrie. Hopefully we'll have that dude on. I love that dude. He's up there in Michigan now doing his thing. So but that's the thing. Like the transition is tough. So you go from hanging out with these dudes 24/7 for 2 to 3 years, and then they might go to a different station. You get a whole new group of guys if you do stay in longer than 3 years, or 4 years, right? But once you get out, you don't have that anymore. It's just you either go back to your home city to where you went to high school with, all the people that you went to high school with, which I had some really, fortunately, I had some really good friends that I went to high school with, that I still stay connected to now. So they're down in Tucson, Arizona. Shout out to all of them. So luckily I had them, but I didn't in a way, because it was just hard to. I knew that they could talk, they would listen to me, but it didn't feel like they felt. I didn't want to hit them with the gravity of everything that happened in Iraq and all that stuff. I didn't want to bring all the sad stuff, all the trauma home. They don't deserve the trauma, right? The people that you need to talk to, you either need to talk to a therapist, a psychologist, or your brothers. And if you can go visit your boys, the ones that you were really close to, go visit them. If you have a couple extra shekels in the bank account and a car, go visit them. Make a trip out of it. Take some days off if you can. Go visit your boys, whether it's one or two of them. I've been lucky enough to see a bunch of my boys throughout the years, because I go visit. I went back to Arizona about a year and a half ago, so I got to see Corey in person. He also came down for my wedding, and a couple of the other guys came down for my wedding. So that was 5 guys, or 4 or 5 guys that came up for my wedding. And then Dean and Matt are talking in the comments section. That's dope. You guys keep at it. I'm reading it. I'm going to let you have your conversation, because you guys are going pretty fast, and I'll just keep getting distracted. So, and then of course, my former squad leader, Starn OB, he allowed us to come over to his house a couple Octobers ago, right? So we got a bunch of the guys around, so 4 or 5 of us around at that time, and everybody welcomed us in with open arms, and that was a great weekend. I couldn't have asked for anything better. We got to play some golf. We talked stuff to each other and to other people, because another group was telling us that we were playing too slow. Well, we had another group in front of us that we couldn't hit into. So then we were yelling back at them. They called us boys. And of course, my buddy Casey doesn't like being called a boy. He's a grown-ass man. He is a man. He's a man. We are men. So he told that dude, what's up? And then all of a sudden we got big boy Hicks. That dude came up, and that dude, his nickname Sasquatch for a reason. He came up, and that guy shut up. His son shut his dad up, actually. So that was it for that. It's a cool story. You really had to be there. It was funny. So we are men is the slogan with that group of dudes. Oh, Dean said, bring that baby girl down to the golf. Dude, it would be nice. My brother lives in Tampa. I was hoping that he would be on the podcast today because I was going to show him all the cool stuff because of course he's an Arsenal fan too. So we were going to talk about that for a minute about the big time Arsenal scores. So he's down in Tampa. So we're going to make a road trip here pretty soon. Probably within maybe at the end of the year or maybe next spring. Maybe next spring because he's having his second baby girl next month. So we probably won't be visiting anytime soon. Maybe at the end of the summer when it starts to cool down, we might head down there. And we're kind of waiting for our baby girl to be able to take a little bit longer on the feeding cycles because making that road trip down with the baby, bit difficult. Yeah, we're gonna have to stop every three hours to feed her and to change her diaper. So it's crazy. Being a dad is weird. Oh yeah, hey, there's Senor Hackney. Hey, Dad, nice to see you. Thanks for chiming in. So I got some of the well, I was thinking about putting some of actually, great grandpa's chest is right there. I have my cigars and my Bible on top of it. So this is my great grandpa Ray's World War II chest. I forgot to say that. That is almost the most important thing that you barely can see, unfortunately. So that's his World War II chest. So he was in Japan in World War II. So that's his foot locker. Oh yeah. So he said don't rush that, and I think he's talking about the baby. Of course, dude. And Dad said nice listening to you. Appreciate it, Pops. He's a cool dude. He's my favorite people. My dad is my favorite dude. So yeah, that's my great grandpa Ray Hackney's war chest. So still smells like 1940. It still has old newspaper in there, and of course a blanket that my great grandpa or great grandma yarned together, sewed together, she made a blanket. So it's in there. It smells like the 1940s. It smells like stuff like an attic if you haven't been there in a while. That's what it smells like. It smells old. It smells like old. So ish. Because it is old. Dude, that thing's like over 80 years old. Almost 80 years old. Did I do the math right? 79 years? Oh no, it's 2024. Ooh, buddy. I still thought it was 2023. So anyways, it's 2024. I was on paternity leave from all of December and January, so it still feels like 2023 to me because I didn't have to write any dates while I was at work. So because I wasn't at work. So another World War II tidbit from the family. My dad is named after Donald Cole. He is World War II veteran. He flew a B-57 in France. Unfortunately, he had to nosedive the plane in order to save a village because the plane was going down. The B-17 was going down. It was either he ejects and the plane either goes into one village or the other, I believe, or he can take it straight into a field. And he decided to go down with the ship. So there's a memorial in France. I forget exactly what city in France. I will get that information on a later date and let you guys know because I have a picture on my phone that I want to share with about Donald Cole because I mean that's legend. That is the self-sacrifice that it takes to you don't know these people. They're French. You don't know them. You don't I don't know if you really owe them anything, but for the sake of humanity, you know, what would Jesus do? I guess if that's the way you want to look at it. Um, he went down with the ship. So I'll probably post a picture of that. I want to make something really cool for my dad, so not to spoil it. Um, some cool B-57 stuff and some maybe get that picture um blown up for him with his great uncle um in there. So, anyways, my cigars, my cigar chest that I have all of my lighter fluid and whatnot, my lighter, and then of course my Patriots Bible that ganglion cortex actually gifted to me. So it's really cool. So you could put all your family information in here. I know it's hard to see. Church record, your children's names, and then just there's history stuff in here about the United States. And of course the gospel. So it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome book. So I have that, and then I have a oh, I already showed you the putting green. The war chest. That's cool. And then I think that's about it for the room. Thanks for coming on. It was a pleasure. Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Dad. My Uncle Larry was on the earlier live. So thanks to Uncle Larry and my brother Chris. They were commenting as well. So appreciate everybody. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully when I post this, other people watch this and they kind of get the explanation of it all when when I'm talking with ganglion cortex. So what else? Yeah, well, yeah. Dean said it's too hot in June, July, and August. That's the same thing for Arizona too, man. When going down to visit there, I felt like October was the perfect time to go down there because we went to the Keys for our honeymoon this last year in July, and that was brutal. It was 90, like 98 outside and in the water. The water was 98 degrees. So there was like nowhere to go to actually feel cool. It was just hot. The water was hot. And said, no worries, brother. Glad hearing from you. Keep it up. He'll message me and Dean. One love, Hackney. I love you too, brother. Thank you for coming on. Always appreciate you. And Ganglion too to come visit. Yeah, that'd be tight. That'd be cool. I would be down for that. Oh yeah. Matt said, do you play golf? I sure do, buddy. I'm not very good. I played 1 year in high school. So I felt like I got some lessons. Some pretty good lessons from a coach, so I can hit the ball. Not very far, but with my irons and stuff, I can hit pretty straight. The driver is still a difficult one. I just don't get my hips around. I'm a bit stiff. I'm like a robot, and it doesn't work for me. So I normally just I hit my 3 hybrid off the tee every time. It gets me about 240. So the 3 hybrid goes pretty far. My 3 wood probably gets me 250 if I hit it straight, 260 if I hit it straight. My driver 275 if I hit it straight. But my driver goes 275 right into the other fairway. So Dean says good night. Yeah, I'm hopping off too. Got to give the baby girl a bath. So I'm heading out. I love you all. Thanks for stopping by. This is Mustache Vet signing out. Good night. Hey, still there? All right, I'm leaving. Bye.